Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Now it's time for Tom's Final Thought. What's grinding your gears this week, sir?
Right. So I make the kids lunch basically every day for
school.
You're
the chef. You're the cook man.
You
make the omelets. You make the lunchy. I get it.
So, and every time I go to get, there's always a problem finding their water canteen or their water...
canteen? They're not in the Army.
Well, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, it's like a water. We call it what do we call it? We just call it a water cup.
Yeah, but it's got a screw top. It's it's metal or whatever.
Everybody bullied us into using these because, save the earth. And, I feel like maybe 10 years ago, you could have just handed to your kid a bottle of water in a plastic, like a bottle of water, like a good old Nestle bottle of water out of the pallet that you have on the top. I feel like 10 years ago, I could have handed Maisie a bottle of water for lunch and been like, well, I'm going to give you one of these every single day, and I'm going to make the biggest trash mound of bottles you've ever seen. But you can't do that now.
Also,
We've
Sam,
been
do you
bullied.
ever remember getting water for lunch? You just got water at
We
the
didn't drink
school.
water.
All I drank was Kool-Aid until they brought it out.
But
you know what Andrea's dad used to say to her? And she told me this. And I was like, he said that? If Andrea's like, I'm thirsty, she said her dad would say, swallow your spit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, wow. I've never had that. But we didn't have water.
So I go to get their water cup or whatever.
Yeah,
they bring
water
to school,
bottle.
water bottle. And then
Wait, they don't get chocolate milk anymore?
Well,
not in the water bottle jug.
No,
Yuck.
I mean, don't you get chocolate milk at school?
well, they bring
don't
their
like that.
own lunch. They
Oh,
don't go through
boo.
the school cafeteria.
Maisie goes through the thing, but she only eats like beef nachos and white milk. She's like an old man.
So anyway,
Every day, beef nachos, white milk.
I give it a little. I rinse it out. Like I turn on the faucet and I give it a
See,
little
Nick,
rinse.
can I pause? I'm not trying to one-up you. I just want to make you feel better.
Yeah.
I shake hers. If it has water in it, it's going again.
No, just add to it. Okay, yeah.
Dude, it's her water bottle. Who's been sucking on this thing? It's Maisie's water bottle. It's going in the backpack. I take it out of the backpack. I shake it to make sure there's liquid in it, and then I stick it back in. I'm like, you're alive. Hit it.
So Crystal,
No.
every
I
single
knew you were gonna
time
say this.
says, "Did you wash it with soap and
No.
a brush?"
And I'm not going to. The
And-
brushes stopped with the bottles, dude. When we stopped with the baby, no more brushes.
I understand the brush and the soap with milk or whatever.
Yeah, it's
like
water.
Milk, it goes bad.
I have an Atlanta Falcons.
Water.
I have an Atlanta Falcons Tervis beside my bed that has had the same water in it for 3.5 years. It's fine. Totally fine.
That's what I say. And then
it's
she's
just
like,
water.
"It gets mold
No.
spores,"
Well,
and I'm
that's
like,
true.
"Mold."
In the little, if you have the
Does it have a
advanced-
straw?
Yeah, if it has a
Yeah.
straw.
Straw might be an issue.
Yeah.
I run water through it. I don't.
Yeah,
but
you're
if
good.
it sits in their backpack for 3 days, much like it stunk when we walked in today.
No,
Yeah,
that
well,
was
the
sushi.
trash.
That was sushi.
That wasn't my sushi.
That was mine. I think.
Oh.
I think that was me. That's why I took it out. I think
'Cause
that was me. It stunk. It was real bad.
was
It was
bad.
not. It was not the fish tank. It was me.
But anyway, so I just want to talk to a scientist so they can explain to my wife that even if, first, why would it grow mold if it's just water? Like mold.
It's also the bacteria from their mouths, right? So that's where most of the bacteria is, not the water.
So the bacteria is just backwash.
I'm
or
not
whatever.
saying anything that either of you are saying is wrong. I'm just saying
It's
that
not even
Maisie
bad
can
for
drink
them.
it for a week and she will be just fine.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
no.
will argue that
It's
until
not gonna-
I'm dead.
It's not going to cause them to get sick
No.
or any sort of problem. If
Absolutely
there's like
not.
3 spots of little mold on the cup or
Yeah.
whatever they drink out of it, nothing will happen.
Everything
Nothing,
in
right?
my shower, my current shower that I shower in, everything, the walls, the grout, everything has black on it. Everything.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, it's dark. It's what do they call that?
But-
Dark mode. It's dark mode.
Now, if I called Crystal, she would argue against this, and she would say,
Decent argument is why not? Why not do the best for your children? That's a decent argument.
Okay, yeah, that's what
I
she
just
said,
don't
yeah.
adhere to that argument.
yeah.
I shake Maisie's
Well,
water bottle.
My
If there's water in it, I'm shaking up if there's something in the straw, when I shake it, I'm shaking it loose.
yeah.
And
even
if she drinks it, it's just toughing her up. That's old George Carlin, right? George Carlin used to talk about how we would be in for a world of hurt once we stop, getting a little boogers on us.
it can't hurt them, right? There's no way. Like if water stays in for 3 days and then there's some sort of like
I'm
any
gonna go,
sort of mold backwash from their mouth,
I will go
and
hottest
they ate
take.
it again.
I will go hottest take. I don't care what any scientist says. I don't care what any of you crazy parents in the chat room.
No,
I don't care what
they're with
anybody.
us.
Oh,
They're
they're
with
with your
us.
wife.
They're
with
against you, bro.
They're with your wife, but I don't
Yeah.
care what they're saying.
What?
And I'm gonna take the
Everybody.
What are they
hardest stand,
saying?
and I'm gonna say you guys are idiots, and this is what's wrong with these pussy asses we got. All of them weak.
Well,
They're so weak just because they can't drink
No.
water from yesterday.
They know-
You can't drink yesterday's water.
Get
out of here.
It's not even my kids. My kids don't even care.
I
Like,
know
they're-
they'll never know.
They don't even know. Like it's my wife.
I'll
that-
tell you another one. I'm like your grandpa. I've never washed one of Maisie's cups. I've never washed one, not even one
Well,
cup.
I
I'll
have to-
shake it. If that loosens it up, drink the water. You
So-
were thirsty.
What's the chat room saying?
They're saying that bacteria starts growing within 2 hours. Yes, it absolutely causes sickness or infections.
No.
It's wet
Liar.
and damp.
No.
Pink mold crazy.
Yeah, it's wet and damp. It's a water bottle. There's water in it. Of course it's damp.
How can it cause sickness and infection?
It
Infection.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Like,
There are
like,
kids in
you're not
third
getting
world
an
countries
infection.
that would love to have that infected water.
Every segment of the show is now just Tom literally doing anything to justify his laziness except doing the thing like washing a cup.
No, I'm justifying the laziness. He has said nothing about that. I'm telling you right now that I think you're all idiots.
I agree with B. Ashley. I drank out of a hose as a child. I did too. And if you don't think that there was some kind of mold all up in them hoses,
Yeah. And the hose was the water was
The
from
hose would be in the dirt.
rust
that,
comes out.
That
Yeah,
first
yeah.
sip would be gritty, and you'd have to swish it
Well,
off your teeth.
Not only that, the water would get super heated in the hose
Yeah,
coil.
that was the best. That was the best water.
And you know there's
Chunky.
amoeba growing in there.
No, it was chunky.
Like I
Came
usually
out thick.
put my hand on it until the scorching hot water stopped, and
Yeah.
then I'm like,
you don't
all
ever
right.
see mold, right?
No.
Well,
Maybe. The black
okay.
stuff, that's not mold, though. That's mildew, and that's different. Mildew you can drink.
Yeah,
you can
that's what I'm
drink
saying.
mildew.
It's mildew or whatever. Like,
Oh,
but
God.
also I've
What's
I've
never.
also seen your truck, so I don't know.
Oh, that was pretty bad. Now
Yeah.
that one I can't hot
I just
take.
came
I'll have
from
to
a
pack.
camping trip.
I can't. Man, your truck is bad.
It looks like you live in there.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
We came from a camping trip, and then I haven't had a chance to.
I
clean
could
it.
have so much money from collecting cans inside of that
But in
truck.
the back,
Yeah,
there's
I-
like 6 tiny, disgusting green smoothie cup, dried smoothie
Oh
cup.
yeah. Well, because every morning I forget, and then when I bring my new smoothie, I'm like, oh god, the cup holders are full, so I just put it in the back.
The
It's,
chat would like to know, Tom, when you wash dishes, when you're washing a pan, do you actually wash the handle?
I have a dishwasher. Like it all
Okay,
goes
so
in
he
the
doesn't wash
dishwasher.
I have
Dishes
2
by hand.
dishwashers. I have a dishwasher and I have my wife.
And so the dishwasher first it washes everything, then it gets it to super hot.
Yeah, it heats
so
it up.
kills everything. So that's fine. What could happen? That's what I'm saying. Like when people are like, "Oh, you could get the infection."
There has
infection,
never been a
you don't understand
story.
the definition of infection.
So this is why I think it's a hot take, and why I think a lot of you guys. Sorry, I'm making blanket statements today, but while I think of a lot of you are idiots, there's never been a case where a kid has taken a couple sips out of a water bottle. Let's go as far as 5 days of water. There's never been a case in the history of time where the kid drank 3 sips of the water without somebody putting poison in it or something.
Yeah,
But like where it was just water and it was his water bottle, it was 5 days old. Never been a case in the history of time where that kid got sick. Ever. Not one time.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
never believe it. It has never
But
happened.
even if it did it,
The internet says
yeah, but the internet says a lot of
if it
it.
happened, kids have been struck by lightning. Okay,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
been a lot of.
I'm just telling you what it says. It says bacteria such as E. coli can grow in water bottles and lead to food poisoning-like symptoms.
Yeah, can, but
or
show me the case.
gastroenteritis.
Where it's never happened.
Yeah,
Even
E.
mold can grow
coli.
in your bottle. It also says that it can cause harmful bacteria to make you sick, much like bronchitis or strep throat. Didn't your kid just have strep throat?
But I wash it out a little bit. I
Yeah,
don't.
you
But
do
I'm not
more than I do. I do
scrubbing it.
nothing.
And I look. Chris,
Not washing your drinking glasses or bottles is the type of activity that's going to get you sick over and over again.
no.
Well,
that
okay.
can't
Like
be.
if I had the flu,
How
I'm going
could
to
it
wash
be?
my water bottle. But if I'm just living life,
Getting sick
normal
from
life,
what?
you're not going to get sick from using your
Bacteria
same
from
cup.
backwash, bacteria from thrive on sweat, bacteria that develops biofilms.
We do that. I do that here.
But
There's-
your whole everything's bacteria. You should be able
Yeah.
to consume bacteria.
I
You can eat
leave-
moldy bread and moldy
yeah, it's fine. This was from yesterday.
mold is fine.
This is from yesterday. This Mountain Dew right here. I'm drinking it. It's fine. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
well, that has enough chemicals.
You
but
know how
I'm
you
just
always
saying,
have
it's fine.
phlegm and there's stuff in your throat all the time? You never wash your cups here.
No, I know.
Right. So
I
maybe you should start doing that, and that might help your throat situation.
No, I need to talk to a doctor because there's
Yes,
no
you
way.
do.
If I talk to a doctor, he'd be like, "This is fine."
No, but I don't
It's
think
not-
they
it's not
will.
causing
I don't
anything.
think. I think off the air they'd be like, "Hey, that whole washing the cup all the time thing. Yeah, it's all BS." I can't say that on the air though because we need to keep people scared of their water bottles. That's how I feel about it. I honestly feel that way about it. It's not about even washing the cup. I'm just saying if it's my daughter's water bottle and we're on our way to school and I didn't wash it one night, not a big deal.
I mean, Crystal puts it in the dishwasher like at least once a week.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just saying from day to day, I just pour the water out, fill it back up. I do a couple swooshes.
I have a cup here that I've been using since we built this studio.
Yeah,
that
you guys never wash your
I've never
cups.
washed one time. I very rarely get sick. I've only had Corona one time. With last Christmas.
What has nothing to do with
No, but I'm
Corona
just saying,
or
it's
anything?
doing nothing to me.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's fine. It's a great cup.
It has to do nothing.
I'm telling you, it does nothing. Just
Okay,
based on my
okay.
own experiments
All right.
here. We've never washed one goddamn cup here, and everything's fine.
Anyway, I did see a BDM make a post. That I guess he was at a customer's house and he saw a BDM magnet.
Oh, yeah.
And then the wife was like, "Oh yeah, my husband listens to that show. Those guys are idiots because they give out false medical
Yeah,
advice."
well, here's your example.
We're not giving out false medical
This
advice.
is
well,
not
you're saying
false.
it's fine.
No, I'm saying
and you
in
don't
my
know that it
opinion,
is.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Well, you're not a medical doctor.
I'm not. But
Well, that's why I was
but
trying
no-
to talk to a scientist,
No,
a medical doctor.
I'm telling you right now, there will not be a doctor that will say. There will not be a doctor that disagrees with us. We will get no one to answer the question. No one will go on record as answering the question.
But why not?
Too scared.
Why are they scared?
They're scared of big soap. They're afraid of big soap coming to get them. Big bacteria coming to get you.
I mean, and then Crystal one time told me, she's like, one time I noticed Max came home and there was tiny black mold spots or like around the lip of the
Well, because
drinking cup.
everything are
Oh.
those little silicone nippies.
Yeah,
They give like
yeah, the
kids these
silicone
little,
nippy.
God forbid they drink off of something hard. You got to give them a sippy nippy.
And then I looked for mold spots for like ever since
Mom's
she said
eyes
that.
are different.
And then I'm
Mom
like, I
eyes are
can't see
different.
nothing.
Yeah.
You don't have your glasses on.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Everything
but,
looks like mold to you.
Everything's black.
but also, like, if he touched one of those mold spots with his
It's
mouth.
mildew.
Or mildew, it's nothing, right?
Like
nothing.
if I look at my shower, some of the grout is permanently stained with a black stuff that has been described to me, told to me is mildew, right?
Yeah.
If I go in there right now to that shower and I lick that mildew with my tongue as fast and as hard as I can, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. And you people are scared. Oh, go and waste all your time washing your cups.
All right, I'll put it out there. We did a go-to show at a hoarder house, and
I haven't felt the same since.
there was for sure.
I
mean,
didn't feel good that
sport.
night.
Oh, yeah.
When I got home, I had to lay down.
I had such a bad headache the next day. Oh my
I'll
god.
be honest with
no.
you and say that I can't take.
That's all in your head.
Okay, let's pause my hot take.
Yeah,
So is
it
the
was.
Let's pause my hot take.
I
for a
mean, but
second.
so that I could argue. I could say like that maybe was
I
dangerous.
text Sam that night. I'm like, I had to lay down. I went to bed at like 7:30 that
Yeah,
night. I was
like
like, I have a migraine.
When we walked in there, I was like, "Whoa!" Like,
My lungs filled up.
I mean, there was 100%
Yeah.
filled with black mold in there.
All
Oh,
the
yeah.
spores.
And we were kicking it all
Oh
up.
yeah, we were kicking it good.
And then the guy that was going to show us the house, I think he kicked it up before just by making the path for us to walk in there. And then when I was in there, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't get worried about much, but I was like, we're sucking in something.
Here's the problem, and I know we got to get out of here, but here's the problem with those cups. These cups are so. Like Maisie has one sippy cup or one kid cup that like it has a straw, it has a sprayer, it has like 3 different areas where you can flip up the top to get the
Yeah.
water. It's got a
lot of nooks and
carabiner.
crannies.
Yeah, I'm like this thing is impossible to clean. So that's why I don't clean it. We'll just buy you a new one. Once it turns black, we'll just buy you a new one.
Yeah.
And if nothing will happen to you, you're fine.
Just rinse some water over
Yeah,
the
put a
top
little
of
hot
it.
water through it.
Yeah, hot water.
Yeah,
will-
put a little hot
it's
water
fine,
through
right?
it. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it is fine.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
What's up, Dave? We just decided to do a quick 14.
Monday 4.
Monday 4. Do we have anything?
Yes, we have a Monday 3.
How you doing, man? I'm good. How are you guys? Very good to see you.
How dare you wear that Macy's shirt in front of me?
I intentionally did so, man.
That's a cool shirt.
Thank you. Samantha thought so, and then
I did, and then I was like,
and she goes, "What a piece of shit."
fuck that place.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Mr. Basic Eric now?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Was that a TV antenna?
It is. That's our World Cup.
I was just gonna say
Yeah, that's our World Cup HD antenna. So normally around 2, I'll flip it over and.
How's that working? I need to
Great.
get one.
Yeah, it works great. You can take this one if you want to. This was $12 in Publix. Seriously, works
Well,
awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like literally like HDTV antennas are more impressive to me than cable streams, MP3s, TikTok, anything.
Well,
When I see
free.
that, yeah, I'm just like, look at all this crazy shit you get, and it's wacko shit. A lot of religious shit.
Yeah,
You
we're
get all the crazy channels. They're great. They're so good.
we're about to cancel Hulu Live because it's $75 a month.
Very
Oh, man.
expensive,
And the
yeah.
only thing we really watch is ridiculousness, and I use it to watch local NFL games.
Right.
But you can get local NFL games off because I have the NFL ticket. It won't give you local.
No.
but you can get
can get
free
'em, yeah.
off the antenna.
And
So I'm like, I saved $75.
I'll tell you something that I don't fully understand, but somebody in the chat room will understand it, and this is just my guess. The picture quality on my TV using an HD antenna is better than the cable I have when I'm running Red Zone. And I think it's because it's just a more simple setup, meaning that the signal that my TV is gathering is just less touched. You know, that's why when you look at it on the HD, I'm like, holy shit, that looks good.
Well, they're
Sorry.
probably throttling down too the
Yep.
stream.
Exactly.
Whereas
on
over-the-air HD,
Oh man, it looks
legally
good.
has to be
looks
a
fucking
certain
good,
standard.
dude. It looks like I hate the dumb old man, but I looked at it, I'm like, wow, that looks really nice.
Didn't you guys interview someone from NFL Byte? Because I use that when I do the hack streams, and it's pretty good.
I don't think we did.
I swear that's how I learned from you. It was a guy who had a Reddit forum thread, and Reddit started cracking down on him posting all the links to football games. So he basically started an aggregate website, and he can't get in trouble because it's basically like, well, no, my site is just simply showing you where streams are. We're not actually doing it. It would be like shutting down Google for
Right.
showing you stuff.
Gotcha.
But yeah, NFLbyte.com. And yeah, you can watch any game.
Yeah, I think my husband uses
But
that.
they
Sounds good to me.
I did that one year, and they shut it down where it became harder to there was a sweet spot of a season. I think it was 2 seasons ago, maybe the COVID season, but that Reddit streams, you could find them and
Yeah.
watch any game. And I was so mad that I bought the goddamn NFL ticket. But then I remember after it seemed like it was harder. Like it used to be, you click on it, it was good, and now you got to go deeper.
On Friday, when I pulled up the stream here, I was watching on Reddit. I was watching World Cup, and he was leaving. I mean, literally 3 minutes after, I could still hear your truck driving down the road. Stream got shut down.
Pull, yeah.
Yeah,
It
it, like-
seemed like they pulled.
Then you had to
quicker.
jump to a new one.
I would definitely check out NFL Byte because it doesn't use Reddit, so there's really no regulation over it. It's just this guy's aggregate website.
All right. Would you like to start? Is this a starting
Yeah, starting.
number one? All right. Here we go. Do we have something to plug here?
Yeah, we'll plug merch and
That was a really long exhale.
Thank you.
I'll
My
plug.
wife says I have a long XL.
Nice.
I'll plug becoming a BDM because
Okay.
I did talk to some people. I thought.
What is it again? All right. You start. 3.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
And joined on the couch, we are joined on the couch, rather, not somebody else is joining him. We have our very good friend. He's one of the moofs. He does drone racing. He's a host and a producer. What else do you do, Kenny?
I sleep a lot.
He sleeps a
Nah,
lot.
it's
It's
so
Kenny
good.
Samsel from
Hello.
Two Moofs podcast. Go to Two Moofs.
TOOMOOFS.
Is it twomoofs.com?
Yep.
Okay, go to twomoofs, TOOMoofs.com and check out his podcast. But we always get him in here because I just think you're a damn fun individual to talk to, my
Oh,
friend.
Thank you. I have wacky stories too.
So before we start with Kenny, I want to.
yeah.
Wow.
I
We
do want
glossed
to
right
mention
over that.
He said that, and we
Nope.
were like, let it burn, let it die.
Nope.
I was at Toll Road Brewing on Friday. Thanks for everybody who came out. By the way, they got really good hard seltzers that they brew there. Because I started off with the IPA that was delicious, and then
And you're like, I'm gonna pull back a little bit here.
well, then someone told me, like, have you tried the seltzers? You could pick from all these different flavors. I'm like, no, I haven't. And then I just started hammering seltzers. I wasn't driving, so
Oh man, that's the best
then I
way
was
to
telling
do it.
stories.
Oh yeah.
I got a real awkward one
My God.
for
Craft
the BDM
seltzer
Oh, no.
stories. This guy.
But I met a couple people. They're like, I haven't signed up to become a BDM yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
And then I
You should
realized
force me to do it right in front of you.
You should pull out an iPad.
that there's still people that haven't signed up to be a BDM.
Yeah. We need
and-
you now more than ever.
Please.
And if you want to sign up, it's at tomandan.com, and it helps us a lot. You get a behind the scenes show that we do every Monday, and you can have access to the BDM page. There are lots of different subgroups, including outdoors, parenting group, anxiety group.
Watches, pets,
Gambling.
gambling. There is a
parenting group,
Yeah, there is
culinary
a
group.
3D printing group.
CBE group,
That's craft beer enthusiasts.
Musicman group,
Yeah,
vinyl
music
group,
guys.
sneaker group.
The sneaker group, if we can talk about it for a second, is really coming on strong, like right behind like CBE as far as like popping in my algorithm and showing me all their photos. And I think it was Jesus had those.
He always gets the good stuff.
He had these ugly sweater Nikes on that are about
Yes.
the coolest pair of Nikes I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, yeah, we got tons of great groups, and if you join and become a BDM, you can join these groups as well.
I'm an admin of the anxiety and depression group.
yeah.
That is a great group,
and it,
helpful group.
the base price is $295 a month.
Yep.
And then once you sign up, then you have access to all these shows, including a library of BDM shows. I talked to someone at Toll Road that was like, I listened to every single ACT and every Friday Free Show multiple times.
Well, do
and I'm
I
like,
have a present for you?
yeah,
then?
if you sign up to become a BDM, you get the back catalog on our app or on our website of how many we've been doing it for 10 years. So
Yeah, there's a lot
every
in
week
there.
for 10 years, how many is that?
Can't even figure it out.
It's
Can't do it. Not a math guy.
250 plus shows,
At least.
hours of content, and
Plus the OG shows.
Yeah. A lot of live shows were only released for BDM.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true,
there's
too.
a lot of like crazy live shows that we've done like earlier, go-to shows that were only BDM. So yeah, sign up at tomandan.com/registration.
all right. How you doing, Kenny?
I am doing well. Was up in Washington, D.C. recently and did a show for another gay and lesbian show. It seems to be my forte. But I worked with Debbie Gibson. She
Oh,
was,
really?
performing at the after
She
party.
is a beautiful woman.
Oh, for being in what, her late 40s?
Maybe
Early 50s?
Early 50s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Deb-
52.
Deborah
Yeah, she
Gibson.
is stunning.
She is a classy lady.
Well, so it was one of those corporate business conferences, but she was part of the after party. She was the opener for a couple of drag queens, so she was actually not even the headliner.
Oh wow.
She absolutely lovely, absolutely nice. She spent 45 minutes for her sound check, but she only performed 2 songs. Like her set was 10 minutes max, and she spent 45 minutes doing her sound
But
check.
I think
She
that's
wanted
what
to
the
make sure it
pros
sounded
do.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's like Celine Dion type stuff.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I guess when you're a pro, you know, like not to compare Deborah Gibson with Celine Dion because their voices are a little bit different. But yeah, if you're really good at what you do and you're like this, you're very good at this. To give you a
I don't know.
compliment, you like. Well, no, he likes to work out the kinks, and he
he
likes.
does, but if he knows he only has to
You
be
are
up there
the
for 2
Deborah-
minutes.
Yeah.
You were
No
the Deborah
sound check
Gibson.
at OLE, though.
You're the Deborah
Missed
Gibson
that one.
of our show.
Yeah, I'm cutting some corners.
I think we're alone now. Wait,
So-
no, is that Tiffany?
Nah, it was Tiffany.
That's
She did
Tiffany.
Shake Your Love.
I just can't shake your laugh.
I'm a big fan of corporate gigs and short corporate gigs because it seems like a lot of hassle for such a short, like for instance, you fly her in, she stays at the hotel,
Yeah.
usually it's the conference center hotel,
She has
whatever.
entourage, people.
Or like all her band and then
Makeup
her
guy.
crew fly in there too. They all have hotels,
Yeah.
and then
She has 2 backup dancers.
yeah, the stage set up, the 45 minutes of sound check,
Yeah.
all that, and all for what? How many? 15 minutes?
She
No,
wants
not
to-
even 10.
She wants to use
10
her
minutes.
in-ears. She wants to use
Yeah,
her
yeah.
mic. She wants to use her backing track. She wants to use her DJ. She brought her own lighting guy. She has her makeup person on staff.
Yep.
And all for 10 minutes. For a conference that nobody will ever see except for those people that work for the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it won't be on the internet. Like, no one will film it.
Was it filmed? Do you think it's probably
Well,
somewhere?
Internally, but
Yeah,
it's not gonna,
like, no one cares. It's not going to be. I guess if something went horribly wrong, but she probably has contracts with the company that if something did go horribly wrong, that the company couldn't release the footage. But people in the audience would.
Well, people, everyone in the audience would be doing that. It was pretty funny though. She did, when you're talking about backup dancers, she did have two old gay men, like 60, 70-year-old old
like
gay men.
onesie up there, double onesies in there.
But they were up there and they were doing like their whole dancing and stuff with her and all the choreography, and I was like, that's pretty impressive. Like I don't know if it was like she was keeping them on staff.
It's like
just
two Danny DeVitos up there.
Is it possible it's
Were
the
there
guys
locals?
from TikTok that have blown up recently?
I have no idea.
Who's that?
I can't remember their
Well,
names.
there's two gay men.
No,
that are
it's
blowing,
like 5 guys that all live together.
and they're old gay men.
Yeah, they're elderly men.
and they're blowing up.
Yeah.
Is it
All
the
right,
Village
good for
people?
them. Right on.
I also Kenny, do you have any idea of the price she charged?
So for this particular one, I don't. However, because she was doing it as a favor, because I guess she had worked with this organization many times before. So I think it was a scenario where, hey, just pay for the travel and the hotel and stuff, and I'll perform for free.
My two
kind of thing.
songs are free.
Yeah, the 2 songs are free, but then she probably did it's kind of like when it's like, oh yeah, free shipping, except the price of the item is like inflated. So she probably
I
did
fall
that.
for that all the time. Girls Gone Wild got me.
I have some behind the scenes info from like insurance conventions because I get talked
What'd
to
you
people
get?
that.
What'd you get? A Lady A?
Well, no, the when the
Dirks Bentley? What'd you get? A little Dirks Bentley?
I'll always ask like how much did it cost to bring in? I think what was the cash low cash or something like that?
Yeah, low cash.
Low
right.
cash.
Look
right.
at you.
Low cash was at like 2 years ago. The
You
insurance
get
convention.
Big and Rich did it a while.
Yeah.
They do those conventions.
And then you find out you're like oh 90K or whatever. It's and it's like that's pretty good. And I'm not sure what the split is and the band and the agent and when it all comes out, but it's like 90K for just a night and you're doing an hour is not bad. If you string a couple of those together throughout your tour, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Easy $250,000.
When I was at the arena, we would have like Microsoft and those corporate conferences. They would do the conference out at the convention center, but then they would do a concert night at the arena, and they had like Jennifer Lopez and Lady Gaga and Justin Timberlake, but they would be scaled down. Like it wouldn't be the full production because they would be mid-tour, and so they wouldn't want to bring everyone, but it would just be them on stage performing, easily spending $150K just to bring them in for the conference to enjoy a free concert.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that was early Britney Spears, you know what I'm saying? Like at the beginning when they were still $150K or something. But it's like, man, for whatever reason, doing those little corporate gigs and making like $35,000 if you were like in the band or whatever, like that was your cut just for a night, and you'd have to drive over there and then you stay in the hotel, go down there, perform.
You know who we should talk to about that? Because she got a little bit of this, but it was a different taste in that she wasn't riding like past celebritydom. Is our friend Tiffany, who owns Salty Sisters. Her band was doing the corporate circuit that became very comfortable for them. And they would do a ton of like conventions because these dads would want the hot, the hot pretty girl band up there singing your latest greatest hits while you have a couple of highballs.
It's a better alternative than the mixed race, mixed gender, mixed age typical wedding band that's like, I got a feeling, and then they do Celebrate, and it's like the 45-minute set of, let's do the electric slide.
But I think
I still like those though. It has a place for me because I'll laugh at it. I'll be like, "Oh yes, I love this."
Like if you fall into the genre of like professional, like corporate / wedding, like remember when we went to Mark Merrow's wedding and he had that big ass, like,
oh my god,
big band at
full band with drummer, bass player, guitar, lead, rhythm.
But they weren't someone you
backup
knew.
Singers,
it was just like
6 horns,
a professional big band. There was
percussionist.
Like they're all studio musicians, and they're just like, and I'm sure he paid 15 to 18 to 20 grand for them or whatever it is,
Yeah,
or
it
maybe
was a
like
lot.
15 grand or what. But
I think you might have hit that on the head.
it's those type of bands will play at all these, and the company, they're like, well, I could hire a named person, but everybody just wants to dance and have fun,
Yeah.
and I could save myself $50,000 or $80,000 just
Right.
by hiring this band. This is $15,000, but that band is like a bunch of studio musicians that they all make $1,000 for that night.
It's a
gig.
decent amount because as a musician, even when I got married, I thought about having a band, and there's no way. There was absolutely no way. Even like a 3-piece, like jazz band, it was such a waste of money. I just went with DJ. I couldn't afford it because I want to say that even the 3-piece jazz band we wanted for 2 sets, 45-minute sets, it was close to $3,000, $5,000. And I'm like, maybe we'll just do the DJ.
The only reason you get a cheaper band is if they want the promotion, and if it's
friend of the family,
Yeah.
or actually like at an event that they are getting exposure from. But if it's a private corporate gig or a wedding or whatever, they're charging top dollar, and you're paying top dollar, so no one screws up and it's perfect, right?
Right.
And
they were really good though. That band was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the type of
Yeah.
band, and they did it so we were all out like having, and I'm a big fan of this. We were all out in like a hallway, and they had these big white tables out. This is at Mark's wedding, just to show you how opulent and cool it was. And we're all at these tables having cocktails, and then the 4 different sets of ballroom doors opened. And the band's on stage, and as you walked in, they were like, da, 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 da,
Super pro, yeah.
band. They're like ready to go. I'm like, holy crap, this is way better than my stinky wedding.
I always like it when you get like the 45-year-old woman like rapping along to "Hot in Her,"
Yeah.
and it's like, I remember this.
We
song.
might have had a lady that's famous for singing in the Baldwin Christmas Parade this year. She always sits on a sailboat. And I love her. She always goes through the Baldwin. She's always like, "Merry Christmas," Santa baby.
It's not the dreaming of a white Christmas parade in DeLand
No,
growing
no,
up.
no. That was the Ku Klux Klan. It was horrifying.
So speaking of live events, I wasn't participating in this, but I don't know if you saw at the halftime of the SEC championship game, they did that Dr. Pepper throw the football in the giant target thing, and it was a person from Georgia, person from LSU. They were doing it. At the end of the time, they had the same score, so they're like, and the crowd's like,
Kill them!
So they do an overtime, and when they do the overtime, they tie again. But then all of a sudden, they're just like, she wins, yeah! And no one in the audience understood why. They're like, the score's tied. Why did you do that?
Because it was a girl?
Well, no, they were both girls. Apparently, there was some preliminary rounds that they were doing like hours ago, and she had the most in the preliminary.
In case of a tie.
So instead of doing yet another overtime, but they didn't explain that to anyone in the crowd. So everyone in the crowd's like, what the hell?
I
Why
heard
did
about
you-"
this, and they started booing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So they were presenting her with the scholarship check, and as they're presenting with her, like
cheater!
60,000 fans in the stadium just booing her.
Oh, that
for
is
winning.
terrible.
That's bad optics. That's the odds
Imagine
of that
being
happening.
the one being booed.
the story after
Cry.
they end up giving both the
Yeah.
people the
Why didn't they just do that
scholarship.
from the get-go?
They didn't have that
Well,
plan
they
because
freaked out. They freaked out.
Because you get
Sam, let me tell you about halftime shows. I'm familiar
Oh,
with these.
no, Sam, look what you've done. Look what you've done. Are you happy with
sorry.
yourself now?
There's
No,
only
I'm
a
not.
couple
Well
things
done.
that I can speak
Oh,
on.
God. Oh, my God. You've done it. No one's ever asked him
Nothing
point blank.
clinical.
No one has ever asked him point blank, tell me about halftime shows, but you just did.
But that's why he invites me on here. I set him up with these stories, and then he
But
goes.
you don't understand. This is like opening the box of Hellraiser, the cube. And it's like, now we got to put him back in.
I know 2 things: medical advice and
Oh
halftime
my
shows.
god.
Anyway, so
Sippy cups are fine.
during halftime shows, the people that run them are part of the marketing team, right? And usually they're connected with the sales team because it's usually there's a sponsor attached to it, right?
The one that used to run your on-field time was none other than AFL superhero Herky Walls.
So, and
Anybody remember him?
now when you get bigger, it gets more serious. And when you get down to the arena football level, it is willy-nilly as it gets.
It's called the General Store scenario.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a bumpkin.
really, I don't even
That's
know.
a bumpkin.
I honestly think I was in charge. Like,
You were.
like, I don't
You were.
think, like there was no one above
Herky
me.
didn't know what was going on. He just knew to get the players off the field and get them back on the field for the second half.
But then when you get to like MLS, we know, me and Daniel know, like there's a an on-field manager, which is usually in charge. Or
Yeah.
like
They also don't like no BS either.
No, yeah. Well, the on-field guy
Ooh.
is more in concerned
Are you talking
with
about
the players, like
our,
Alex.
Okay, Alex Wolf. On a side note, Alex Wolf was our old on-field director. He was in charge of everything game day. He's in Qatar right now running things for FIFA.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah.
literally running fields for FIFA in Qatar. It's
Nice.
crazy that we used to work with that guy.
So he's more concerned obviously with the players, the game, and that he doesn't give two
No.
S's about the stupid, goofy,
And he'll shut it down
promotion.
too. If
Yes,
you screw
yeah,
things
yeah.
up, he will literally get in your ass.
And so then the he just knows there's a time allotment allowed for this goofy whatever on-field promotion that happens, right? So, but if it goes 1 minute over, it doesn't matter who's the sponsor or whatever, like Disney or whatever the hell the biggest. He's get the hell off my field, right?
Yep.
Like, and you got to get out of there or it's your ass. Anyway, so then there's just a marketing person and a salesperson. So, and then the people that are doing it are usually the hosts, which are part-time employees. Someone that was
Somebody
hired
in
as a
marketing's
host.
daughter
Yeah.
who is a TikToker, and they're like,
Tom
she'll
and
be
Dan,
great.
yeah, like some sort of ambassador or host that they hire, like that's like usually there to run the thing or whatever.
And that's the disconnect because and then someone like me who's a show producer is infuriated because it's like, well, why am I not out on the field? So that way I can literally just chime in and be like, guys, do just a one-off, just one more toss. If someone misses, then they lose. And just make it
Right.
more so that way you're not getting 70,000 people booing a girl during the award presentation.
Right.
Yeah,
That is really bad.
So I'm sure when it happened, there's like everybody's looking at each other like, what do we do? And then, of course, the person that has to make the call
Just stand
is the
still.
one holding the mic, which is the least qualified person, by the way. And all these things is like when me and Daniel were doing this stuff, we're holding the mic,
They'd
and
be
then-
like, now interview the JetBlue family of the game. And I'd go, hey, you guys get tickets to Disney World, a 4-pack of tickets to see everything at Disney. How do you guys feel?
Have you
Back
ever
to you.
Have you ever done it too where you guys actually know what's going on, but I've been to many a sporting event where the host is like, oh, they failed, getting the 3-point shot. We're going to give them another chance. And then they end up winning it and winning like $100,000. And meanwhile, the marketing people are like, no,
you're not allowed to give
you're
them
not supposed to
another
give them another chance.
Another behind the scenes thing too is any contest that's run at a sporting event in which there's a huge cash prize is insured, right? So what happens is the company comes in and they say it's in this case who was the sponsor?
Well, see, this one's a little bit of an exception because it's Dr. Pepper and it was a scholarship, so I don't think they're really insuring it. It's a donation for him anyway. But yes, I get what you're saying.
I think even Dr. Pepper, they're putting up the $100,000 scholarship. Yeah, you're right, and they just wanted to do something to donate $100,000. But let's say that it's another at the Solar Bears game or something where you half court shot or whatever. So say a basketball game, half court shot. It's insured by Geico, right? So Geico halftime shot. And then Geico, let's say it's $1 million if they hit it. There's an insurance agency and a company that will insure Geico for if someone actually does it, and they'll put a percentage chance. And Geico's actually paying a premium for this because it's way less chance that they hit it than even that what they're paying for. But let's say they'll pay $10,000 for this promotion, and then Geico will pay the basketball team X amount of money for the thing. So they wrap it up in the cost of the marketing to have the Geico halftime shot. So if they make it, Geico doesn't care. In fact, Geico wants them to make it because that's better promotion for them because the insurance company's paying the $1 million.
Yeah.
So Geico's hoping that they make it. Now the problem is there's very specific rules that the insurance company has for that contest.
One of the insurance agents has to come there and make sure you're abiding by it.
Well, there was
if it's a radio station, the guy will be on site to make sure that everything it's got to be the person throwing has to be 35 feet behind the thing.
That's what I was going to say. There was a lawsuit because they did that, and the video replay showed that the toe was stepping on the half court line, and they were trying to refuse, but it became a huge PR nightmare. And
when there's just pay it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let me ask you guys a very serious question. Out of all the insurance company mascots, who do you hate more? Is it Limu Emu? Is it Mayhem? Is it Flo or the Gecko?
We forgot the general.
I hate them all. I like the general. I love the general. See, I'm a general man.
good.
But Limu Emu, hate it. I hate Mayhem now. Used to like him. Flo, you're done. And the Gecko, I've hated you for years.
Have you noticed they're focusing more on Flo's team rather than Flo?
Well, we're sick of her. And
I
now
know,
they
but-
got John
but-
Hamm in there, and they're trying to make it like
Yeah.
she's banging John Hamm.
I've got a couple embarrassing ones that me and Daniel I remember doing the halftime show stuff.
shows?
One of them,
All of them were kind of embarrassing.
yeah, they are,
A
but
little bit. I hated the setup.
one of them was.
I wish I could have dressed like a Jabberwocky and
By the
covered
way,
my
Tom
face.
does not want to participate in your mascot competition.
No, he doesn't like my little sides. He hates sides. He's an entree man only.
This was for this is before Orlando City became MLS, and there's a USL Pro Days, and we were doing the halftime
USL
shows.
Pro Days, we could do anything we want.
Well, we didn't even. This is because it was a bigger organization. It wasn't like this old Predators thing where like you drunk, you just put together everything. We'll just give you the damn field to do whatever the hell you want. This was we were just there to present something that was sponsored.
Yeah.
But
They'd bring something to us.
one of them was catch the dollars in the blow
yeah.
telephone booth.
Yeah.
You know that
I forgot
whatever it
about
is.
that.
And so the company brings it out there, and again too, they're all kind of janky because they have to be set up on the field in 8 minutes
Yeah.
or whatever. You only have 8 minutes, so they have to bring the thing out there,
Yeah,
run
they're
it out there,
wheeling it out on the tarmac.
put
or
it out
turf.
there, plug it in, get the blower or whatever. the hell.
1,000 extension
And
cords.
of course, because they're not used to moving the damn thing,
Florida humidity, it clumps all the money together.
yeah, they're trying to put the money, whatever. So then they're screaming at us like, "Go, go!" Because we don't have enough time. So we're like, "All right, look, we're in the I don't even know, some sponsor was
Yeah.
the money tornado," and then and then some guy's like, "I'm beating him," and
I'm gonna steal all this money.
he gets in there. First guy, he gets in there. We close the thing. We're like, start it up or whatever. And then because we didn't practice this, we didn't
No.
know how it
We should have Debbie Gibson this. We should have given a 45-minute warm up.
It takes a good 30 to 40 seconds for the damn thing to get going.
Yeah, you gotta dry the money off of it. It's all sticking together.
So they plug it in. They're like,
oh my god.
And then because they are like the marketing person telling like, go, 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 go,
Yeah.
like Alex Wolff is like, get off the
Get
field.
off the field. We have a game. This is garbage.
So so the money didn't really start to
No,
really go
it stayed
crazy.
real low. It was a low money.
So
He
we're
just
like.
knelt down and just
So we're like, all right, go! And so the guy, there's just a pile of money in the corner.
Yeah, like
that,
leaves, like a small pile of leaves.
that because, like Daniel said, it got humid or whatever.
Well,
like
he's in there hot breathing it up, and he's not a small individual.
Yeah, and then it's a hot Florida night or whatever. So he just starts grabbing piles of money, stuffing it under his shirt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And
Smart.
so
I
then
think he walked out with $48,000 under his shirt.
so then he grabs, stuffs it all in his shirt or whatever, and they're like, all right, get out of here. And then so those 30 seconds are up. He comes out, and I'm not joking, there was $5 left. So then there was 2 more contestants.
Oh.
And then we had to interview them because it was part of to tell us what you
Yeah.
want the money for. She's like, my daughter has cancer.
Well, my son has special needs, and my dream has been for him to live a couple more years. And we're like, oh crap.
And then we're like, all right, let's see how much. Only $5.
What are you gonna do with your $5?
Yeah.
What's your special needs son gonna do with $5, ma'am?
We can literally and we're in the middle of the GD Stadium.
Yeah.
Everybody can see. There's
The guy that
like
has all the
$3
money is a
left.
lister, by the way.
And so he's jumping up and down, and I think he's just like, I'm gonna party.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to strip club, bro.
And then so the other lady, she gets the other. Now there's like $1 floating flying around like a butterfly, and then the last granny that got in there, I'm like, we have $1, and then we had
Just
to.
give it to her.
No, but we were. I think
You're gonna
we
make
had
her
to
fight
pretend-
for
we were
it?
on the mics. I think I remember saying something like, "I'll give you 20 of my own money,"
Right.
because it was just bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, well, yeah, it's State Farm's Money Hurricane.
Yeah.
So we had to they were paying to get the promotion.
Yeah,
anyway.
we did some bad ones.
One of the best videos, it was at a basketball game, and they were doing tic-tac-toe, like on the main court. And the 2 contestants were probably really absolutely stupid, and they couldn't figure out how to win tic-tac-toe. Like, someone had X's, and all they had to do was put the X in 3 in a row, and she ends up putting the X somewhere else.
Do kids
And,
still
like,
play
not winning.
tic-tac-toe?
No, they play a new game that's kind of like what this person sounded like they were playing. Now it's like the squares, where it's like, or you're trying to connect 3 dots. Have you played that game?
No.
No.
My daughter plays that game where she'll like make a line and then I'll make a line.
Oh yeah, well that's
and you,
that's
and you
that
connect
finish,
the square. I hate it.
You finish the square.
I
That's
hate it.
that's an old school.
I know,
game,
but I
yeah.
hate it. That's like tic-tac-toe. They don't play like she doesn't play it very often.
Well, when my sons, they'll play when they've realized though how like they've gotten to the point where every game's a cat game, and they try to do the old trick where like anyway there is a there is
Yes.
some sort of a trick to tic tac toe, but once that you can't do that, it's cat game every time. Anyway, so Kenny, when you do these events, what is your actual job? Like, what do you have to do that
What
day?
do you do?
Yeah, I basically I'm known as a producer. So literally my whole role is just to sit there and make sure that it flows, that it's working, things are happening, things aren't on fire, and that we're able to actually open the doors and start the event on time.
And it
Alright.
worked out well.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I'm not knocking Debbie Gibson at all. I just thought it was hilarious that she spent 4 times as much on a sound check than the actual like performance.
But she probably sounded pretty good. I
Oh,
bet.
she sounded great and
Yeah.
everything, and she was completely nice about it. It's not like she was demanding or like a bitch or anything like that.
Right.
But no, it was just weird that like some people that. And then we had 2 drag queens perform after her. They literally walk up on stage, not in costume or anything. They just look around and be like, "All right, cool, I'm good. See ya."
Who were the queens? Do you remember?
One of them was Pepper Mache,
Mm-hmm.
and another one. I don't know if that's her actual name. She went by Martha Wash because we were in DC, so I think she was like changing up her gimmick.
Ah.
I wonder if Debbie Gibson is just scared of some sort of, because everybody has a cell phone.
She's been doing it
and
a
social
long
media,
time.
That if something did go wrong with the sound, even if it wasn't her fault, and then like, was she singing over a backup track or anything like that? Or
Well,
I think she's like a perfectionist.
yeah, she is, because one of them was over a track, and the other one was a piano thing. And
Well, she was doing all Kanye West songs, right?
because if something does go wrong and the backup track falls out, and all of a sudden she's singing and it's a little off key, then it's going to end up all over. Like TMZ is going to be like, Debbie Gibson lost
Well,
it.
they
Look
did
at
that
her."
to Tiffany. Remember, she was
Yeah,
at that
yeah, yeah.
biker bar down the street
Yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she was
They
up
all see
there,
it.
and she was doing boom, boom, boom. Let's go
Yeah.
back to my room. So no, what's the one? I think we're alone now.
Yeah.
And they filmed her, and
Yeah.
then she's like, she was drunk, and she's like, come on, sing with me.
yeah. And then
I'm drunk.
they always do that move where they take the audio and just from like the mic audio,
Yeah.
and then
Children behave. That's what they say when we're together.
and when you do that, if I was the artist, I'd be like, well, I know who did it. The venue did it. Like, what am I- because no one else
It's
has access
from the
to that.
effing soundboard.
Yeah. And so couldn't that person sue? I guess like if maybe I guess how could you prove that?
Exactly, because you can just say, "Oh no, this was just me mixing, and I'm just not good at my job, and I mixed you sounding horrible."
But
Yeah,
then
but
when
this
you
one was
release
bad.
it,
Plus, at a biker bar, what kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
mixing
that is true.
console do you have?
yeah,
That is
yeah.
true.
You know, you're playing it like Froggers or something.
Yeah. That's I guess the ultimate. I wonder if the artist even feels bad, like, or they know, or they're like.
Well, you
"Oh,
don't know in the
God."
moment, but the Tiffany video I'm referencing, she didn't know because she was like a couple sheets in the wind.
Yeah.
I think she thought she
But
was
then-
killing it.
But
you
then
know,
after,
like-
well, after when she sees it
Oh,
and release
yeah,
it, like, are
super
they sad about
embarrassing.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There were times when we did our goof band where we perform and I would like had enough of it. I was 3 sheets in the wind and I'd listen to it. I'd be like, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
You should
but
not do
that's,
that. That is not a good sound.
Anyway, should we? Anything else, Kenny? Or you want to do some voicemails with
Well,
us?
I know Dan little snuck into my my Facebook post, wanted to talk about some Facebook
Yeah.
fads and trends.
Let's talk
Oh,
about
what?
Yeah, have you seen
Ooh.
I'll get on Facebook and I'll go to Kenny's page. Have you seen Kenny's now it's all the rage on social media, the Lenza app?
All I see are just legs.
Oh yeah, the AI stuff.
Whose
Everybody's-
profile is just showing off their calves?
Is that?
Oh, I don't know.
I saw that on your social media, Daniel. It was like.
So here's Kenny's. I've got Kenny's up.
So
if you wanna-
essentially, it's an app that you pay. Well, you pay for, but they do the 7-day free trial, so everyone is hopefully canceling. But you upload a bunch of selfies of yourself, and it uses AI to generate portraits, like really unique. Yeah, all computer generated stuff, and they do it in different themes as well. So it's like one of them makes you look like an anime character, one of them makes you look like a spaceman, another one, makes it look, gallery art style. So everyone is on Facebook
that's
is
a
ended
good
up doing
one.
it. Yeah, exactly.
You're like a muscle man.
Exactly. I don't know where they were pulling that AI from, but yeah. So it a lot of it was. a lot of it, all of it is AI generated, and almost every one of my friends started doing that and posting it as their
You
profile
wanna see
thing.
mine here?
So Dan actually started doing it as well, and I know Grift and Jess just posted some, and
Brendan from Bungalow.
it's actually it's really good. Like one, it's very accurate for being computer generated, and then two, it's very artistic. Like it's very like aesthetically pleasing.
Now,
Here's mine.
is it just like you upload one picture?
No, 20 photos.
Oh, you upload 20 different
Well,
photos?
10 to 20, and it basically says, oh, this is what your
This is
smile
me.
is. This is what your eyes are.
This
is...
one's called Russell Crowe Daniel poops on the space station. This is Russell Crowe Daniel pooping on the space station. That's that one.
But is that
This one is called How I Really Look.
Oh, wow.
Because I think this one's very much like how I feel like I look. This one's called That's Good Weed.
so? Is
This one's called Elf Lord. I'm the Elf Lord. This one's called Me Like Math.
is it
Well,
actually?
that's almost
that's-
Nick Offerman-esque.
Yeah.
Is it a picture and are they just adding filters to
No.
a
No.
picture?
No, it's taking your features and then it's like realigning them with art I think they already have curated. So it will use the actual your cheekbone structure,
Yeah.
your nose, your eyes, the way your eyebrows are shaped, your facial shape.
So that pictures that you just showed me are not actually a picture of you
No.
that you submitted. It's just they're recreating
AI
you.
created it using the dimensions of my
Yeah.
face.
So
using
you know
their
that
art.
I'm not a muscle
cool.
man, Tom. I'm not a muscle man
No,
who
well,
lives
Like
in
Andrea's.
spandex.
I did Andrea's this morning, and it
But
costs
I-
money to do
okay,
it, which
but
is
when
what
you-
sucks.
we're-
But I canceled my trial, but I still have enough time to do you and to do Tom. So we'll
Oh, we got to see Tom.
yeah, we got to do so. Pick 20 photos of you that you like. Pick
Oh,
20 photos of
God.
you that you like, or Sam pick both. And because I know he won't do it, but then I
All
like,
of his photos are 20 years old.
but so here's the thing.
you got to pick the new ones and
I
put a
am-
couple of those ones where he's got a mustache. You got to put those in there.
I ended up uploading a lot that I had my earbuds
There's
in, and
Andrea.
so a lot of my photos made it look like I have earrings on because it took my earbuds as part of my
Ah.
face, so it made it seem like I always had like earrings
Like
or
Andrea's
gauges
came
or
out pretty
whatever.
good, right?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pull up Brendan's if you can.
Brendan's
his are
yeah,
great.
his are stunning. But yeah,
I'd
it's
buy him as art.
it's creepy because one, we knew that AI could do it because there's those AI generators where you can type in a prompt and it comes up with something wacky. But the fact that these are looking artistic and like a portrait, like you commissioned an actual artist to do them for you, is what I
Right.
think is impressive.
Yeah.
And so the face, because the reason why I said like a filter is because like we've all seen
Oh,
you
yeah.
take a picture and then you put a filter, it makes it look like you're a cartoon or a CGI character, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're from it, but this is actually just taking your facial features and then turning it into
Yep, correct. Extrapolating it because and it does it too. Where like
Crazy.
for mine, it put me one as a spaceman. It put me one as a muscle superhero.
Here are Brendan O'Connor from the Bungalower in the Bus on
Now,
Real Radio.
What is this like? How I guess the free you sign up for this app. What does it cost after 7 days?
Oh, it's like $29.99.
It's so expensive.
It's
so you have
stupidly
to get in
expensive.
there, get it, cancel it immediately, load in your photos, then pay for that. Just to get your 200 photos or whatever, $7.
Okay, so this costs something.
Yeah. It's smart the way they're doing it.
Oh my God, it's
and
smart.
I what's cool about it is I actually feel like you are getting something. I'm not going to use any of these other than just for entertainment purposes, but I can see where if you had a business and you needed a caricature of yourself and you couldn't afford to go to an Eric Pabone, you couldn't afford to go to a Danger Brain, right? And it pains me to say this because custom art, I think, is always going to be better than AI.
And that's what's going to be tough too, especially because I want to commission it, but like I don't necessarily know where what I want. I have to rely on a person's thoughts as to what they think is going to look good, whereas a computer and AI can generate 100 of them, and I can choose which of the 100 is best, as opposed to, unfortunately,
They're taking our goddamn jobs.
They really are. I mean, like, no,
This is true,
I'm
yeah.
dead serious about
it's a bummer. Like,
oh, Pabone, you're screwed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
well, but see, real art will always win. It really will. But this, I mean, I could see where. Imagine
Well, will
being,
it? Maybe
well-
people won't care if it's a human generated art. Or
I think for
computer
people
in the
who are
future.
indecisive, they're going to want to do AI because it gives them a lot of options. But someone who has a specific thing in mind will always want to call up Pabone or.
But
or
I
any
see the
other artist to do it.
repetition. What I mean is, I see the repetition in everybody's, And that's where the AI will always lose, is because there will always be some sort of.
It always kind of look the same.
Yeah.
But now, here's the thing. This is just like a precursor to.
Oh, yeah.
In 20 years, this will, imagine how good it would be. And a computer can do this. Create 10,000 images a minute across the world. Like more. They could do more work than any artist could possibly do, and faster. And that's the thing. It's how can anybody compete with this in the future if they are an artist, and if people stop caring? Or I wonder in the future would there be like human created art, computer created art, and then there'll be an argument of which is better. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it makes
there's
sense.
a lot of people that are trying to scam these art contests by submitting AI generated art, claiming it's theirs, and then they win. They're like, ha ha ha! I got one over on them.
Oh, just showing that.
Oh
hey,
man,
you
I'm gonna
couldn't
start
tell.
doing that. I'm gonna start using these photos of me, and I'm gonna start entering all the art contests around town.
I
You
will
should do
say,
you should do it for like Maisie's art contest. Like if her elementary school like has an art
No,
contest.
They know her art is terrible. Oh my god, it's so bad.
they all the pictures kind of look this, like you could tell they're in the
Yeah.
same vein.
Oh
right?
no,
Yeah.
definitely. But see, that's what this one company is. I'm sure there are
Yeah,
other
yeah.
Correct.
competing
Yeah.
companies that can do completely different whatever.
The key would be to get so many different varietals of your art or your art templates where you could offer pretty much anything for anybody if they follow your parameters, meaning has to be just you in the photo, has to be quality photos, can't be anybody else in there, no pets. I also noticed they say no kids. I think that's because the obvious reason this isn't for you.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but somebody in the chat room was asking, can you do pets? They say no.
I tried. I tried uploading photos, and it's just like
Yeah.
these don't work.
And then they ask, and they say no kids. And obviously, again, I think that's for the obvious. I think this is, it's
they
a
make you check I'm the age of consent in my country.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
I'm sure someone's developing the software to do pets, because that's a $1 million idea.
Oh, of course.
Too. Like,
Well, if I, at least on my Facebook algorithm, all I get are, it's the holiday season. Get a portrait of
Yeah.
a cartoon portrait of your pet. Or
5 years ago, remember when 5 years ago it was cool to buy a portrait of Napoleon, but it's got your dog's head?
Yeah.
Remember 5
I
years
always
ago?
wanted that.
That's
I
right.
always wanted it too.
That's
And now
right.
if you buy it, you're an idiot because it's 5 years. It's not cool anymore.
Right.
But now a lot of it is Disney-fied. Like, get your dog Disney-fied or get your family Disney-fied.
That's no difference than when people were Simpson-fying
Yeah.
themselves.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, if you do that now, I think you're stupid.
Yeah, you missed
It's
the
been
boat.
it's
Yeah.
been 10, 15 years too late. If you're like, hey, look, it's me as a Simpson character, I'm like, that does not impress me at all.
No,
Not
this is-
even in the least.
This is me in the South Park universe.
No, that's even worse.
Oh.
I'll take Simpson over South Park.
Yeah, I'm Family Guy. Look at me. I'm a part of the Family Guys.
Only if it's dirty Family Guy.
You know what? I'm gonna buy Tom's Family, Simplified Family,
Oh yeah.
because they love it, right?
I remember when someone hand drew that back in the radio days.
Meaningless now. They have a computer can do it in
I
two and a
know.
half milliseconds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember when they hand drew like us as Simpson characters, like the Drunky the Bear or whatever. It blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Genius.
I'm talking about
crap! You made me
Ooh, la, la.
you made me a real Simpson. I live in Springfield.
2004. It was impressive, but so that's what I'm saying. Like, what's going to be in 15
What's
years?
impressive now? Even this now, this was impressive. The minute I hit it and I got my 200 images, now it's not impressive. I'm like a TikTok kid. Is that how kids are?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like literally
yeah.
those 200
They're like,
images.
what's better?
They were impressive for me. I did it on my balcony with my dog Dansby, who's my best friend, by the way. That's my dog. I've stolen that dog from the family. He's mine. Soon to be named Guy Fieri. So me and Guy Fieri are sitting on the balcony. I made those pictures. I go, oh, this is cool. I sent a couple of them to Andrea. She said, oh, these are cool. I was done with it.
Yeah.
Immediately
that's how
done with
fast.
it.
Yeah. But this is just the beginning, and
yeah.
we'll never need artists again. That's it.
Oh.
Right? What, are we,
Wow.
what else is here, right?
What we need, though, is photographers. We need a way for your camera to, like, when I'm holding it on the person, it needs to be and do the rule of thirds. It needs to zoom in on that, lighten this, do that, pa-pa.
They have a little bit of that.
I need more of it.
Yeah. Well,
Well, one of the things that never took off was that Google Glass, where
What
you
was
can
it?
take the Google Glass, where you can
the Google Glass.
the Google Gaga. But yeah, you would have thought that would have been the next iteration. Like, oh, hey, what I'm seeing right now is aesthetically pleasing. I want to take a photo of literally what I'm looking at. But that never really
There
took
was
off.
a PR lady here in town. I don't want people to get mad at me for there's a PR lady here in town that used to go to all of the openings. Like if it were the MLS thing, if it were the mayor's office, if it was anything cool, this lady was covering it for some publication here in town, and she had those Google Glass. And she would wear it to everything, and I would see her at the thing. It was right when you and I were starting this company. And we go and we thought we were pounding the bee's nest, right? We're hitting the pavement. And I would see her all the time with a Google Glass, and I always got the feeling that she thought she was better than us because she had Google Glass, right? But then they stopped support for Google Glass.
Yeah.
I don't see her anymore.
They
I'm
got
just
her.
saying.
They got
I'm
her.
just saying. It was a big enough deal where you would always see her, and I'd go to my wife. I saw the Google Glass lady again, and she'd say, "Oh, that's X." The lady had like she was known as the Google Glass lady, and now
Big
that
Google got her.
and they don't support Google Glass anymore, so I don't see her anymore.
Yeah.
What if she's in the glass?
It turns out that people were like, "Nah, this is not cool." No one. I mean,
It looked a little
stupid.
dumb.
No,
looked
it
a
did
little
look dumb, but you would have thought, oh, that is the basis for what the technology should be. But no one wants to do it. Everyone would rather hold something in their hands.
I don't want to hold it in my hand. I would rather have it in my brain.
It was like those Snapchat glasses.
I had those. I also have the Ray-Ban ones. The ones where you take the video. Those are
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think you're speaking of in your brain, it'll probably go from super advanced phones then to a chip in your brain, right?
A neural link.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that was an episode of Black Mirror where I think it's like you had like a little thing that you can like dial up and go back to past memories and stuff.
Here's what I
All
want.
your
I'm a really
pictures,
simple boy.
internet.
Here's what I want. I want to sit down at a computer. I want you to say, like, enter your name. I write my name. You say, what scenario? I say, a massage parlor. What type of beautiful lady do you want? I describe it. Boom. Hit the button. Video made for me. Lady says my name. Hey, Daniel's here. Come in and get a massage. Why don't they have that?
And then the AI will make it whatever human you
Well,
want. And then it gets
this
real
guy's
creepy.
taking it. It's real creepy. I'm in there with my grandma.
So I
Well, why
don't,
don't you choose that?
I don't know what happened to it.
I
But
didn't choose it. You chose it for me and locked me in there.
there was a website, and I think it got shut down. But you could upload pictures of someone you liked or a significant other
Samantha.
or even an ex, and it will scan it and find a porn star that looked as close to that person as possible, and then show you all the porn with that person. So that
Wow.
way, if you wanted to be like, oh, I want to see what so and so would look like as a porn,
Well, you can also do deep fakes now to do that
Well,
too.
I-
where you,
yeah.
like superimpose someone's face on.
That's harder to do.
It is
I-
harder to
I just
do.
want to upload a picture, a JPEG.
Yeah.
JPEG.
Can you upload a JPEG?
You can't.
Oh, dude, it's up. Findmypornface.com.
Okay, hold on. We'll do this for the BDM show.
All
Yeah. 2moves.com. And what is it? Is it
Yeah,
2moves?
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's you got it. You got it. TOOMOOFS.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it.
E-double-O-M-double-O-F-O.
All right. We'll see you on the BDM show and after this.
All right, great job, y'all. Are we done with Twitch today?
Yes. We'll come back on BDM Facebook Live.
Bye, guys. We'll
ya.
see you in a bit.